You're listening to a podcast from the Finnish Football Show.
Yep.
Yes, it's the Finnish Football Show. Listener, thank you for joining us for our Veikkausliiga 2026 preview episode, or maybe episodes, let's see. I put a call out last week to our group of representative fans that you've heard from before to just ask them to record their Veikkausliiga preview from the perspective of their teams, and I haven't been able to really push them this time. I just, as we explained in the last episode, there's stuff going on and time is a little bit tight. So I just said, hey, if anyone's got any previews for us, then send them over to me. So it may be that I get 12 club previews. It may be that this is the only episode. So bear with me if it is. And yeah, there's something here. So the first, these are going to be published in the order that I received them, and we're going to start by hearing about IFK Mariehamn from Johan. Then we go on and hear about Inter Turku from Jussi. Then it's HJK Helsinki from Ali. Myself and Jules had a bit of a chat about SOCIABLE Seinäjoki. And then there's Seppo with Lahti. So that will be this episode. And as I say, this may be the only episode of previews that we do. So let's see. But hopefully it will give you something to consider as we head towards the Veikkausliiga 2026 season. And so let's head on to the first of those. It's Johan from IFK Mariehamn.
Hello, so my name is Johan and I'm a fan of IFK Mariehamn, and I will give you a little bit of a preview from a fan's perspective of the club's prospects for 2026. And firstly, we're going to look at the squad. Starting from the back, the goalies are the same. We have Mattias Rikkonen and Kevin Lund still there. Mattias Rikkonen is probably expected to be the start goalie, but Kevin Lund, who was injured last year, pretty much the full season, he come back in the end, he will compete. So I think we have two good goalies to start with. So moving to the defense, many people left. I think one major person who left was the Emanuel Okereke. I would, of course, like to keep him. He was very solid last year. He unfortunately decided to go to Vasa. It's always painful when people in your team go to the domestic league. I wish he'd gone somewhere else, but hey, that's what we expected. But since his contract was running out, we also expected he would leave because we could not probably pay him what he would expect. And other than that, I would say also Mikael Fonsell left. He didn't get a new contract. He's a local guy. I would say that it's unfortunately that he left because he was the Åland guy who was close to reaching a good Veikkausliiga standard. So it's a pity he left, but he wanted to look around for something new, but didn't really find any opportunities. And then the squad was full and he couldn't get a contract. But maybe he will come back in the future. So let's move on to the midfield. Here we have only one significant guy who left us here. That's Niilo Kujansalo, who was sold to KuPS. So he will be missed. I think he was more a player with a lot of potential than actually producing these fantastic results right now. So I think he will not be too missed. I mean, I think we needed the money more than him. So, and as a replacement for him, we had a Swedish-Greek guy called Nikolaus Dosis. He played several games in Allsvenskan and also in the Greek league, and he's been around a little bit. His He's only 25 though. He looks very promising, I think, in the early days of the training games, etc. And another newcomer would also be Marlo Hyvönen, who came in from Klubby 04, kind of a young, promising guy with some U21 experience. So let's see, he's on a 2-year contract, probably, hopefully to get playing time and grow and maybe do another Koyan Salo type of performance. Going to the forwards, we lost a lot of forwards because we're changing playing system. Our left winger, right winger, Jaden Reed and Hugo Cardoso left. I will not miss them much. We know they were in the attacking line, but they produce maybe 1 goal each or something like that per year. So it's not enough, of course, for being there. And more worryingly, but expectedly as well, we lost Cody David, who went to Slovakia in the end, I think. Yeah, and it was quite expected. He did well. He scored 14 goals. He started really bad last season. He was injured, and then in July he started to produce very, very solidly. So he will be missed, of course. We have 2 new guys coming into the attacking line. First is Adam Larsson, who was with us in 2024 as well and scored 11 goals. So, he's proved on this level. He knows the club, he knows the league. So he should be able to fill at least a big part of what we were missing with Cody David. And then we had a new guy called Luke Pearce coming in from Cardiff, actually. He's been looking very well, really good. He's a center forward. He scored 2 goals in his first game for the club. He scored another one in the test games as well. So I think this looks like a good duo to be in the top. And I can mention here, we seem to have established some sort of cooperation with Cardiff. We have Darren Pearce, who is the U21 coach, I think, in Cardiff now. He used to play for the club, IFK Mariehamn, in 2013. So moving forward to the feelings overall is, I would say, our midfield is very solid. It's very consistent. We got to keep our important players from the last year, like Jelle van der Heide, Sebastian Dahlström, Patut, Huttunen. So I think the midfield looks really good. So I think we have a better squad than last year. I think we changed a lot of players, but the ones that left mostly were not performing, and there's a lot of promising, nice names coming in. And I'm mostly excited for next year is just small improvements. We will be a little bit better, a little bit more stable. We'll not be sniffing around the back 2 in the table, I hope. So hopefully we can bump up 1 more level from last year. And what I'm most excited also is that I'm interested to see what's going to happen with all our developments. The Veikkausliiga has asked us to put up a big jumbo screen on the arena. That will happen this year. It has to happen this year, and we also have to add 850 sitting places on the roof in the stadium before 2030, and this has not now escalated politically in Mariehamn. So it's because the city of Mariehamn is owning the stadium, and the discussions have started now, and let's see where that goes. It's a bit of they didn't start out well, but let's see where that goes. I think they're going to solve it in the end. Mariehamn has normally been standing behind the team, so let's hope we can avoid what happened in Ekenäs, Tammisaari. What I'm least excited about, I would say, is that how the kit will look this year. It will be terrible. We have some sort of military green outfit apparently, and the logo is also it's moving around. We don't know what it is at the moment. Actually, if it's just the text say IFK Mariehamn on chest or the star, who knows? But our old club brand is gone. I feel abused. I feel mishandled. I'm not happy. I've been doing everything I can to stop it. I've been into the CEO and talked about it and say, look, this cannot be. So let's see. It is what it is now, and just have to support the team and suffer for a year or two with this outfit. But yeah, so you feel free to make fun of me and the club. That's okay. So my predictions for 2026 is last year I said we will finish 8th, and we did actually. So kudos to me, but it looked actually a little bit worse than I expected. I hoped for a more stable performance, but the first 2/3 of the season was not good. We were close to the 10th, 11th place all the time. We were never looking really solid until August, when things actually changed. We changed this playing system, and it worked really well. So I was ready to let the coaching staff go. I thought they did a terrible job until August, but then they managed to find a new system like a 4-4-2 a lot, where we play a diamond in the middle. That worked really well instead of the 4-3-3 with wingers that we had been read by all coaches in Veikkausliiga, and we were extremely predictable. But I think so. This year, I would guess that we will be a bit better. That also seems to be the general consensus when you read the predictions over the press. So I think we need to aim for top 6. The 6th place to squeeze in, like kind of what Gnistan did last year. The top 5 has been too strong, but I think 6th place is possible. But I think our squad is probably a little bit too thin. A couple of injuries might throw that off. So I will say 7th. That will be a good target, but that's of course a terrible place to end. But you want to be in top 6. But I'll say 7th.
After the last season, Florian Krebs left Inter to a Bulgarian side, which is a major loss for our midfield. However, we signed Ahjabu from Vaasa and Janne-Pekka Laine from Turkey. Ahjabu provides defensive stability in midfield, but is simply not a similar type of player as Krebs. And Laine has been very quiet during this winter season. So we have to hope he can soon get back to the same level as when he played Veikkausliiga for Haka a few years ago. We also lost our top scorer Legbo. New signings Saloma and Ulundu are both wingers, and we also loaned a new striker Alie Conte from Norway with an option to buy him. Last season's main striker Jean Botouet is always working hard, but he has been too wasteful inside the box. Alie Conte seems to be quite similar striker profile as Botouet, but maybe he's a bit more straightforward. I believe it's quite likely minutes will be shared between them in the beginning of Veikkausliiga, but perhaps we could see both on the pitch at the same time in some matches. In defense, we have almost the same players still available. The Dutch centre-back Bart Strauman left the club, but only 18 years old Ilari Kangasniemi is more than capable of replacing him in the starting 11 already. In fact, I think Kangasniemi has been one of the best players during the Liga Cup. Everyone can see that he has massive potential and is perhaps one of the most likely players to be sold abroad in the future. Also, Eetu Huhtanen continues as our goalkeeper, and last season he was very reliable. Overall, I feel we have a well-managed squad and maybe the strongest defense in the whole league. However, I think the strikers need to improve a lot and simply bring more goals during the season, especially now that Legbo is gone, who scored 12 goals last season from a winger position. I'm really excited for the new season, as we will have European games and also Turku derbies again after so many seasons. I think Inter will be able to get a European qualification place once again, but a lot of improvement from our strikers is needed in order for us to be able to challenge the other top teams for the title.
Hello everyone, it is Ali Manson here, ahead of the new Veikkausliiga season, which is incredibly exciting. Last year I said that everything for HJK needed to be much, much better. So you could pretty much just copy and paste what I said in last year's preview pod and put it in here, to be honest. because the season before last wasn't good enough, and certainly last season. I did think it couldn't get any worse, but clearly it could. So I'm hoping it's not going to get any worse than last year, surely. There were very, very few positives to take away from last season, so I do suppose the only way is up. There has been a lot of change in the capital. Starting from the top, Jonas Rantanen is the new head coach at HJK for this season. Previously of Ilves, as we all know, he is definitely an impressive appointment. I think his appointment has been received incredibly positively across the fan base. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can cook up. There's, of course, pressure on his shoulders. He's going to have to start really well. But I do think that the fans will give him time and they'll be patient with him, purely because his track record from the last few years has been really good. So I have confidence in the head coach for this season. There's just been so much turmoil with the management over the past few years at HJK, so it would be really, really nice to have a little bit of stability for a change. There has been a lot of outgoings. There's been a lot of incomings. The biggest outgoing for me was Santtu Hostika leaving. He has been one of the most consistent performers over the last 3 or 4 years. So it's a real shame that he's gone, but it's always been a possibility the last few years. He's been such a consistent performer, so it was really only a matter of time. But now he's gone, and it's an opportunity for someone else to take on the creative mantle. There have been some notable incomings as well. Alfie Chichale, I think that's how you say his last name. He's come in from VPS. He looks tricky. He looks good. So possibly he'll be the player that will fill Hostika's boots. Other notable arrivals, I would say Til Sissoko as well. Could slot in quite nicely. Lassi Lappanainen is back. I mean, that's pretty exciting. He's obviously been away in the States for quite a while. He's obviously had his injury problems over the last few years, but he got quite a few goals and assists over there in the MLS, and I think he can still do a job in quite a decent league. So I think it's a really good signing, and as long as he's managed correctly in terms of injuries and fitness and that kind of thing, I think he could have a real impact on the Veikkausliiga this season. Other incomings that I would probably mention would be Mads Borchers, who has already taken the number 9 shirt, I believe, although I'm not sure that's confirmed, but I've certainly seen him with the number 9 on the back of his shirt. He's come in from Ingolstadt in Germany, and Lionel Montano from Silkeborg in Denmark. I think these are two players that should definitely be looking to have an impact in Finnish football, and quite quickly as well. I'm not going to make any predictions about where I think HJK can finish, but at the end of the season, there has to be some kind of European qualification needs to be on the table for next season. That's absolutely for certain. And it just needs to be much better. I mean, I just cannot remember the last time HJK won a game of any meaning. Feels like it was maybe in April, but I really don't know. Massive improvements are needed. I do have some confidence that things will get better, but time will tell.
Okay, so now we're on to the SOCIABLE Seinäjoki section, and I'm joined by our regular contributor and my good friend Jules. Hi, Jules.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Right. We're fresh and we're warmed up because we just recorded an hour for the SJK Supporters podcast.
Or our legs are tired and we're done.
Well, we'll let the
pre-season.
We're
ready for the substitution. Come on, bring on fresh legs.
Already. looking at the HJK squad for, well, at the moment and what's happened over winter, which of the players leaving do you think is most significant for us
Yeah,
this
good
year?
job you said the most significant there because well let's skip the players and just go to the management change really.
Okay,
So
well, there's one.
Stevie Grieve has left and Jakovic has come in. So Stevie Grieve has gone to Sweden, uh, in Division One or second tier there, trying to get promoted. And we've got proven Veikkausliiga winner Jakovic coming on instead.
Bit early yet for us to
Players.
know how that might affect the playing style. We've seen
mm,
glimpses of it in Liga Cup, and because of fixture kickoff times, we haven't seen much of it in the pre-season friendly games yet.
no. So yeah, but what we have seen it's been good. Nothing to yeah, it's looked good. Results in the League Cup were terrible. Um, but then how much can you draw from that when you're talking about the season? Significant players leaving. I would say that Lasse Karjalainen has gone to AC Oulu. Valentin Gas has gone to Kups. We missed those two. Alanis Vargas has on a 6-month loan to Turkey. Lauri Laine has gone to the Czech top division. And Babakar Fati has gone to Livingston in the Scottish Premiership. So
And
they're
we
the
we were just talking about how many goals and assists there are in those players leaving from
yep.
last season.
Mm.
There's a gap to be filled to
There is,
replace
and
those.
we've trying to fill it with a whole raft of young Finnish talent, which sounds good, and hopefully it will be good. More experienced names there than we got. Eto Momo is coming back for a 2-year contract, and I suppose the biggest name would be Lucas Rangel, who's previously played with Kups and KTP, so it doesn't fit our profile.
He's neither
He's
young nor Finnish.
Yep, 31-year-old Brazilian, but he has got proven Veikkaus League experience. So let's see how he goes.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of experience to fill in what we've lost with Guardiolainen and even Valentin Gask. He's not old, but he's got a lot of
A lot of
Veikkausliiga
experience,
experience.
over
So
100 games, I think, or
yeah,
getting close
yeah.
to. Yeah, yep.
So how do we feel about these changes to the squad in general?
Feel about changes to the squad. It's kind of natural for us to go through these kind of changes. So it is how we operate. Then we develop players and they go. In this case, we've lost 2 good players because their contracts have run out, which again is kind of fair enough. So yeah, it remains to be seen if the next crop is good enough or how soon they are good. So the jury is out.
But the comments we've seen, we haven't watched many of these pre-season practice games, but friend of the show Larry has, and some of the comments that have been coming back have been quite positive, if not for the entire game, certainly spells within games where we've looked decent, and I think the performance away at HJK was generally positive.
Yeah, as much as we love Larry, I'm not going to say that he's the least neutral person. So, like,
No,
I'd like to see the players myself to get a
no, that's
viewpoint. And we
fair, but
haven't. There's
also I
been no
wouldn't say he's the
footage as
most.
well.
I wouldn't say he's the most kind of excitable about these things either. He's
Yeah,
likely
okay,
to give a balanced sort of opinion. If he thinks we're playing bad, then he'll say we're playing bad.
true, true. That is true. That is true. Yep,
But yeah, you have to trust your own eyes, Jules.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or yeah, it would be nice to have seen some kind of footage from the games which are impossible to get. Just like some kind of highlights or something. Just
Yeah,
yep,
yeah,
yep.
because a lot of these games were played at like Wednesday at 3 p.m. or Friday at 2 p.m. and got a job in it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll only know how the season goes once the season starts. Really?
Are you excited about this season? And if you are, what on earth are you excited about?
Uh, can I just say no?
Yeah, you can say no. Yeah.
No, no, I'm not excited about this season.
Why? Well,
Yeah,
then why not?
there are other teams that are better than us in the league, I think, and and I haven't been given nothing from the club to make me believe otherwise. Not much communication coming from there. Haven't been able to see much times, so. Um, I trust Jakovic as a good manager, but then I'd like to have some kind of more communication from the club about how things have been going on. So I'm not excited about this season because I don't know what to get excited about.
Are you excited about the new kit?
Moving on. No, it doesn't. Burgundy doesn't belong in our club colours. So yeah.
I agree. I am feeling slightly more positive about the away kit. But I know Jules and I disagree on that because we've just spent some time disagreeing about that in the other
But that
podcast.
says everything. If the only thing we're talking about now is the kit, then obviously we're not too excited about what's going on the pitch.
And we don't know why there's burgundy there because it hasn't been communicated to us either.
Yep. Yep.
All right. How do you think, final point, Jules, how do you think SOCIABLE is going to get on this year?
Anywhere from 4th to, I'm going to be more optimistic now. You persuaded me from the SJK site. Anywhere from 4th to 7th.
4th to 7th.
Maybe 8th. No, 4th to 8th. I'll go back to my original thing. 4th
Okay.
to 8th.
All right. Fair enough. I'm going anywhere between 3rd if we have an excellent season to 6th if we have a disappointing season. I think we'll finish top half.
Oh, if we have an excellent season, we can win it.
I didn't say we're going to have an excellent season. I said we have a good season.
Okay, but if we have an excellent season, we can win it. But there is potential there, but everything has to fall in the right way, and it has to be, all the players have to play fantastically well and gel, and it goes. And it is possible. It could happen. But just looking at teams, we finished 4th last season, and I suppose that's a fair reflection on how we were last season. So I think more, and things went quite well last season. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Listener, thanks for hearing us do a shortened version of the hour-long podcast that we've just recorded. Onto the next preview.
About FC Lahti's prospects starting the new season, quite positive, I would say. Mixed results in the pre-season. We did beat HJK, most importantly, of course, in January, as Ali remembers, I'm sure. But of course, that was early on. Then we've had some good results against lower league teams, but we did lose to Mariehamn 4-0. The squad, we managed to keep some of the key players from last season, and then some decent additions as well. But it's really, really difficult to say. So I think in general, I think we're feeling positive, but also uncertain. The official goal is to be in the top 6, which I do appreciate, as we do have the budget for that when looking at the salary table of the Veikkausliiga teams. And of course, it's the idea is that Lahti is not going to be in the relegation battle every season. So I would say, it's overall positive vibes among the supporters, and commercially also, I think they've managed to secure some good commercial deals, and there was also basically they were selling shares, and there was some income coming out of that as well. So I would say that it's quite solid, and we have a decent squad. Of course, coach or the manager, little bit uncertainty as well. I do trust him, but of course he got us relegated 2 years ago, and he did get us promoted back to Veikkausliiga. But we shall see.
Okay, thanks to everybody that sent me their previews. I really appreciate it. And from where we're recording, it's only a week until the season starts. So, listener, good luck to you for your team in the Veikkausliiga this year, unless they're playing against SOCIABLE, in which case I wish you no luck whatsoever. And yes, that might seem biased because we're all biased fans, let's be honest. Thanks for listening, and until the next episode of Finnish Football Show, goodbye. You've been listening to the Finnish Football Show. You can find us online at finishfootballshow.com. Remember to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening or watching. You can follow the Finnish Football Show page and group on Facebook, and also on Instagram. Escape to Suomi on Twitter is now Finnish Football Show on X, and you will find us on Blue Sky at Finnish Football Pod. See the links in the episode description, along with the links to the Finnish Football Show merch stores.